So why are you now coming back to that story again? Because you should have procured your materials that will be imported. They should have been procured and be on ground. They will now be putting finishing touches to it via the local contents of the contract, not the other way. Because the impression you are trying to create now is that the advance that was given to you, you are using that to do local jobs, because you have not imported the other components of the contract. Now you want to start talking about variation. And as of today, have you raised any certificate?
Let me take it from the point of the work at the moment. At the moment, if we step out a bit, we will see on the roof at the dome and the pyramids where our work is ongoing. That is what we are doing at the moment. And again, inside the chambers, we need to build those scaffolds to reach the surface of the ceiling, which we've just completed now. We are now mounting platforms, which are the work platform, that will enable our workers to climb onto through the scaffold to reach the ceiling. So that is what we are doing, and most of the works are internal. The external work is on the dome and the pyramids. So, and people are there. In terms of the fluctuation in the price, yes. We place orders for all the equipment and items at the beginning of the contract. But in payment terms, we don't give 100% of money to be used in procurement because it has to be staggered by the payment terms of the supplier. And in that case...
So the problem is money?
Money, yes.
It's money?
Yes.
Okay. It's not true.
Not CBN.
It's not true?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, if you are procuring directly, yes, the minister, who is adequately represented by the person that can speak to us, is yes. This is a serious project that cannot be, seems to be abandoned midway. You cannot afford to leave this National Assembly completion for next year, May or June. Next government. No. If it is not completed now, between now and April, then there's a problem. And that's why we are here. Whatever is going to take, and the minister, you have to raise enough fund for both the first phase and second phase. You cannot leave this project halfway. We don't want this project to be abandoned or to be left the way it is. Because as we progress towards the end of the year, more challenges will be coming up. They need to spend more money for projects. Now, the way you are talking now, I think what you have refused to tell us is that your company is asking for money, more money. Is that the problem?
Sir, I do not want to say
Is that the
clearly.
problem?
Yes.
Is the problem?
In the implication of all the story behind the fluctuating prices is more money.
Well, what I will tell you is that, yes, Minister, I want to beg you, please do all that is needed to provide funds so that these things will be completed.
We shall come to you for more funds.
Well, let me just put this. You see that we are going on oversight, and some people felt we are adding too much pressure. No, your budget came late, the 2022 budget. For that budget to be passed, and for me to be able to stand and defend that budget, I want to see the project that this budget is asking for more for funding. So if we don't come out to see this project, and I come to the Senate, I come and pass budget, even my conscience will not be clear. So I'm going around to see this project because by the time we get back next week and we are passing budget, I want to be speaking from the point of knowledge. And that explains why I'm asking what is the problem of this project here. This is where we are. And it's of priority, not just because we are here today, it's of priority to democracy itself. And I want you to take it from that perspective. There is not a project that we can toy with. It's a project that is the life wire of democracy. So whatever it's going to cost, yes, Minister, you have to look for more funding and award the second phase and let us move from there. You cannot postpone the next phase for another 1 year when you go outside. If you are competent, and I want to say that it's not because I'm saying if the job is not good, I will tell you it's not good. I'm impressed with the little effort you are putting in. Especially the two chamber, we can see that you know what you are doing. The job is good, but the space at which you are moving is disturbing to me. If this job cannot be completed by under this administration, then there's a problem. We don't want to hand over problem for incoming government. Let it be said that while we are here, we ensure that the job was completed. Mr. Contractor, what's the name of your company? Visible. For you to be visible, you have to finish our work. Let everything be visible. We must see it to be visible. And Minister, please, yes, on a serious note, please, of all the projects that we have, they are all important. But see, this place is not where we are going to throw it. Please, whatever funding is required, let us release it. If they will have to give you bond from a bank, let there be a guarantee for the money you are giving to them, so that they can work 24 hours. Now, this afternoon, I didn't see enough people working on site, and I will make effort to come in the evening to see. Now, if you cannot run 15 hours, 18 hours here, then how do you want to meet up the deadline? So I'm appealing to you. You have to increase the space of work. You have to increase the workforce on site, and let the FCT go and release funds. Yes. No problem. So, when he says inshallah,
So made, my chair. We had discussed, you recall, between your good self, the chairman house committee, as well as my permanent secretary and my humble self. We have resolved to initiate the procurement of the second phase so that they can go hand in hand. While substantial delivery has been attained here, we will have presented to the Federal Executive Council the case for the phase 2, so that while the contractor is substantially mobilized on the site, he can continue with the aspect. And by the way, none of the phase 2 work will have any direct hindrance to the operation of the two chambers. Under this phase 1, substantial attention will have been drawn, and delivery will have been attained on the two chambers by the grace of God.
Sorry, Chairman, I just want to correct an impression being created by the contractor. He said when they started work, the dollar was 350. We are all aware of the time that this contract was awarded. Even the central bank, as at the time the contract was awarded, was 400 and something. So there's no question of 350. Now you said the dollar is 900. It is no longer 900. It's coming down. It's 700 and something. So if you need to make procurement, please do it on time so that you don't put all the burdens on the government. I mean, it's a mutual collaboration. So the government is not supposed to suffer for everything. It's a mutual collaboration. Please make your procurement on time before you start shouting that there's an increase in the value or price of the dollar. Please, so that this job does not become an abandoned project. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Anyway, just clarifying on that, I allowed because he just mentioned it. The books and the records shows all issues with dates, and these are being processed through the CBN. So we are guided by that. So it's not a problem as far as we are concerned. When the claims for variations are raised, they are normally subjected to thorough evaluation, scrutiny before and he knows that. So it's not an issue at all with us.
Sorry, my question has been asked, but I have to give that kind of impression. At the time they gave you this contract, they gave you finishing time, and you accepted it. I am sure you were supposed to make all procurement necessary need before now. You would have gotten all those things before today, and there was no point of you start talking of variation or increase of exchange rate and what have you. What we want from you, this job must be finished at the right time. We don't want to hear any excuse, and if need be, there will be no variation for you.
Well, Mr. Chairman, today is Saturday. I actually expected that we were going to see work in full regalia. Would have expected to see action today. But surprisingly, I was surprised that not a whole lot. Yes, in our own chambers, in the Senate chambers, yes, I realized that they were doing quite some work over there. But having come over to the House of Reps side, I would expect that these jobs would go together. As this one is going, this one will go. And I expected much more workforce than I'm seeing. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Before you ask, I think the issue which you didn't want to go into is that, Nigerian contractors, already you are looking at the fact that there's going to be a new leadership at all levels. That is, the President Buhari will leave, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will take over, and you are thinking about the fact that the leadership of the Senate will change. Now, it's a threat to democracy if this National Assembly is not completed fully and all the needed infrastructures are provided, because we have been here. And why we are here today is that we want it to be on record that while we are here, we did our best to make things to work. So you have to let us know, are they owing you? Is it money that is the problem? If it is the money, we know here, and that's why we're here. You don't have to hide anything for us, because if you don't finish this job, we'll ask police to arrest you people, because it means it's a threat to democracy. You want to derail democracy. You are playing games. And I'm happy that the Chief of Staff is here. If the money is not available, Chief of Staff and the ES, you have to go to the presidency for special funding. This project is the life of government, so we cannot afford not to allow this place to be completed as at planned. The last time this place was touched was 1999. Since then, nothing major has been done. So you have to open up and let us know. You talked about foreign currency. Yes, we know. But of course, you knew that the equipment, the equipment you are going to procure, they are not from Nigeria. You are not going to buy from Naira. Buy with Naira. So you actually quoted based on the fact that you are buying dollar or you are going to source for dollar. Now, what is the problem? Because, like my colleague said, we thought that this Saturday we'll see a lot of people working. The number of you who are on site here, you are very few, and you are telling me you are going to meet up. How are you going to meet up? And I'm happy that the ES have talked about the second phase. You see, we don't want this project to get to a point that next year it will now be another issue. The government will now start thinking of it. Let everything that is required for this project to move forward be beyond, so that we know that, okay, we are looking towards completion. So what are the challenges? Because you are talking as if you are not even part of the company. The fact is that, what are the problems? Why is the slow pace of work? The plan originally was that by January ending, the two chambers will be operational. But the way I'm looking at it, I don't know how you want to meet up the January deadline. I doubt if that's visible. So what are the problems? What are the constraints? And I'm sure you have been paid. Abi, you people have been paid.
Yes.
So